Hi, I'm Pastor Rance Settle. This is my wife Leslie, and we are finishing an amazing experience here at the Holy Land in Israel. I've been once before, and it was enough to want me to be here again, and this time bring my wife as well. As brothers in the ministry, you can know for sure that as you preach and teach, it's a great thing to be able to do so and to be in the Word, but there's one character that you're missing, and that is the land itself. And that was one thing that was very open to me as I spent my time here and the time before. You're going to get to see where Jesus walked. You're going to get to see the land and how it played out in the narrative of God working to save the world through His Son. It will change the way that you teach and preach and how you talk to people about the amazing things that God did on a 150 by 50 mile stretch of land on this earth. I highly recommend, if you get a chance, this is something to do, to plug into and even use with your congregation to encourage them to be a part of that. And just to give you a perspective on that, my wife wants to share with you what that's meant to her as a member of God's church.
You hear all the time and read the stories about the Good Samaritan, and you just pick a story or a parable. And when you see that that's just a short distance and how the land, like Rance said, plays into it, it just makes those stories come to life and mean so much. And if you're worried about safety, which most people are, please remember that in order for this place to work, all the groups have to get along together. And if they don't, things get shut down and they all lose money. So they're going to do their part to make it work. And while there is a lot of walking and movement and things like that, we had a beautiful woman come on our trip this time. She was 90 years old. She had her son and her daughter with, and they helped her along, and she had been preparing for this, but she was able to do it all. So know that if you put in the time to prepare, to walk, to do like that, you can do this at any age.
And ultimately, too, the tour group that we worked with is top-notch. They made sure that we were all able to stay together. They made sure that we were in the best of places to stay. Mm-hmm. I never felt unsafe in any place that we were at. And even if there were situations that could have been a problem, they were anticipating it so well that we hardly even noticed it. It's very worth your time and a great way to get not only yourself in the Word as a pastor, but also to get your church family to walk together and to have them grow spiritually as they walked where Jesus walked. There's a big difference between talking about the Pool of Bethesda and standing in it, and to be able to see what God did there and to be able to point to it. You'll never read the Bible the same way again, and I can talk about it all day long, but you really got to come here. You got to come here to experience what it is. And my prayer is that you will do that as well, to come alongside us and to be able to continue to steep people in the living Word that truly is present here in this great place. So pray about it. Think about it. Ask Pastor Klaus if you have any questions. John Gibbs with our TWT, who's phenomenal, and their staff as well. And I'll be glad to address any questions that you might have. Otherwise, we'll continue to pray for you and your discernment. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the Holy Land someday. And God's blessings to you and your continued discernment, and most of all, in your serving of God's church.